This is just information, no advice, just something to think about. What if I told you that being low maintenance is a scar more than it is a flex or a badge of honor? Being low maintenance doesn't mean you're evolved. Sometimes it simply means that you're just exhausted. There have been so many times, I'm sure, that you, myself, thought that being low maintenance, being chill, being the easy go with the flow person would reward you with some level of honor, privilege, love, safety, care. But instead, you may have recognized that it's just giving you more disappointment, more imbalanced relationships, and more confusion about, am I asking too much? What are my actual needs? Maybe I'm being too much. Maybe I'm being dramatic, or maybe I'm overthinking things. When in actuality, you might be on point in that relationship. There are certain needs that you may not feel like you deserve to have. What we need to understand is that in society nowadays, there has definitely been this oversaturation of being as careless, as neglectful, as dismissive as we possibly can in our relationships while still reaping the benefits of it. So we have this idea now of, oh, I love low maintenance people. And that's code for I love people who don't have needs because I don't have to maintain them. Low maintenance translates to low effort. I love the people I don't have to make effort for. And if you are one of those people that always tries to be the easy going, the go with the flow, I make sure I'm showing up for everybody. But instead, you are so fearful to ask what you need. You may be even fearful of addressing a concern. Because if I say something, I'm going to lose this friendship, I'm going to lose this relationship, people are going to be mad at me. And you may not even be looking at the fact that, hey, without me always being willing to give of myself, what kind of relationship do I have with this person? I want you to ask yourself, how often do you exist in imbalanced relationships? Does it feel familiar? Does it feel healthy? What's your experience in those connections and in those dynamics? And where do you get your needs met otherwise? Are you so self-sustained that any relationship that you step into, you're going to take care of everything for you and them? The world rewards us for being self-contained and low impact. It's like you get a treat if you are able to take care of yourself. And sometimes you'll even hear it in parents in terms of how they delegate the favorite child. Oh, yeah, this kid was no problem. They were such a good kid. Why were they a good kid? Because they didn't ask for anything. Right? I never had to tend to their needs. They just figured it out on their own. Think about how that starts to mold a kid later in life. I will show up in relationships understanding that I am only good if I am good at taking care of myself. But if I have a need, if I address a concern, well, now I'm going to be shamed. I'm going to be punished. You'll see that it happens a lot where there's dialogue around your expectations are too high, or I can't meet your needs the way you want. And sometimes you just might be looking for reciprocity or some level of consistency in terms of how the connection's handled. It doesn't mean that you stop being who you are if that's truly who you are at your core, but it also means that chill and low maintenance doesn't correlate or translate to I don't have needs in this relationship and I'm going to allow myself to go without just so I could be present, just so I could be liked, just so I could be perceived as favorable. There have been a couple of connections or just spaces in general where you will ask for something and you would think that you did something terribly wrong because of how this person responds. How dare you ask for something from me? Why aren't you just continuing to give to me? Sometimes we will go a very long time in relationships that are imbalanced and unhealthy because we fear being perceived as a bad person. But to be bad at being mistreated and undervalued does not make you a bad individual. A lot of times this low maintenance idea or identity can truly be hiding self-abandonment. Okay? You are willing to abandon yourself for other people, emotionally, mentally, energetically, and even physically. But we have to understand that when we are willing to do that, it gives people the pass to do it too. If somebody realizes that they don't have to earn a relationship with you, like they don't have to earn a certain standard of care, then they are not going to show up. They're not going to produce. They are not going to reciprocate. You made it low maintenance. You're telling people, hey, I don't need anything to be maintained. You're good. I'll take care of you though, right? I'll make sure your high needs and your need to be high maintenance is always taken care of. Healthy relationships require presence, not perfection. Healthy relationships require reciprocity. Healthy relationships require respect, responsibility, and acknowledgement that two people are in this connection together. Anytime you step into a relationship and a person makes you feel or projects that you should not have needs or they can't meet them because they're so high, pay attention to what you are willing to offer up and how they've been receptive to that. If you're good enough to take from, you are good enough to give to. If you weren't bad when they were receiving from you, then that must mean that you are not that bad of a person because they're willing to take. So sit with this. Are you actually chill, or have you just silenced yourself so well that other people feel comfortable ignoring you too? You don't have to agree. Just sit with it. And don't forget to breathe. If you like this information, well, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe. And if there's somebody in your life who you know doesn't need much, well, maybe they might need to hear this. So share it with them. It's just information.